Yes, good evening. This is Wallace Gator Bradley, the host of the Bradley Report. I'm also the president of United in Peace, Inc. And as you know, this show is put together by none other than the chairman of United in Peace, Inc. She's also the director. She helped me find my talent. And I'm also blessed that she's my wife, and that's none other than Madam Chairman Terry Marsh. And as some of you know, I want to thank all of you guys and ladies that sent me birthday wishes, because yesterday was my birthday, and to God be the glory. There's a lot of things that's been happening in the city of Chicago with this election coming up on May 26th. And I want to say that the gentleman that's helping me tonight with my show, running the board, because the wife had to do something very personal and had to take off today so the show can be controlled by Brother Amari from Can TV. Appreciate you, sir. Salute. I want to say that a lot of energy is into the splitting of the Black Chicago vote has stirred us for political power, stripped us for political power for 30 years. There was an article that was written by Monroe Anderson, and I got this piece from Brother Chan's new media outlet. I think it's called The Tribe, and it's very interesting because it explains how after Harold Washington died in 1987, Carl, I see you coming. I'm going to answer your call because I want to get back into this. I don't have that much time, but you calling is very important to me. And the topic that I'm talking about is not repeating the history or not knowing the history, and therefore we repeat the history. And the splitting of the African American vote so that the second Mayor Daley was able to slide in and take up the last 2 years of Harold Washington's term when we had a black mayor by the name of Eugene Sawyer. So caller, could you please state your name and voice your opinion?
My name's Joe. My opinion is this: how we elect a chief executive city, it is really messed up. Nowhere else in the state where they came up with this 50+1, but in our city. And it's really ridiculous. Ever since after Harold Washington passed away, and like you was mentioning about when Richard M. Daley came in, it was changed how one block of voters cannot necessarily get together and put who they want in. And I asked that, why don't we question that? Why did they change the way how we elect a chief executive of the city? We don't have a primary no more.
Right. Well, let me share this with you. I'm glad you asked that question. When they realized that coalitions can come together to elect, they realized they had to get rid of that Democratic primary and Republican primary. Because as you know, the history is when Harold Washington won, it was because the vote was split. Okay? Yeah. And he won. And the racism was so ice cold that they were even trying to run another white guy by Bernie Epton, who was a Republican, and he wasn't mentally sound. That's how hate works. So fast forward. That's when the coalition was built, and Harold won in 87, and he was able, the communities came together to make sure the Hispanic community voices was being heard in the name of fairness. And Harold died, And then the African, it was leaders within the African American community that helped create a special election.
I want to make one last point, and I'm going to be done. When they came up with this non-profit organization status for these churches so they can get these exemptions, because remember, it was these faith-based organizations that helped elect Harold Washington. So they came up and they brought these preachers and ministers off in terms of they be involved in politics.
Right.
And I don't think no other city done that. That's all.
Right. Well, my thing is this, and you're right. So here we are today. For 30 years, the city of Chicago caught real hell behind the election of Daley. Okay. Today, what happened 30 years ago, we're witnessing it today. When you see Bobby Rush endorse Daley, okay, he was a part of the group that created a special election in 1989 that made it possible for another Daley to become mayor and end up doing the last 2 years of Harold Washington's term when they had a sitting black mayor there. So this is Black History Month. This is my Black History lesson.
You brought up something else. The first black mayor we had, and it brought him off really, and was supposed to fulfill Richard J. Daley term. I think it was a guy by the name of Frost, and they gave him that chairmanship of the finance committee. Check this out.
Right. But listen, I'm with you on that. But we talking about the split, okay? Because when we see 4 or 5 black candidates in a race, and we know within our heart, when you look at who's the best candidate to win out of all the candidates, let's look at what's right. What I mean by that, if me and you are in a room, okay, and I can't read, but it's 10 people in the room, 4 with me, 4 with you. You're the one that can read, and the object is to get out the room. You're the only one that see the sign that says exit. Go out this door. So everybody in the room saying, why can't Gator and this gentleman, what's your name again, brother?
Joe.
Okay, why can't Gator and Joe just get together? Well, I'm paid not to agree with Joe so that the 10 people stay in the room when Joe is the only one that has the right answer to get out the room. You follow what I'm saying? So we got to do what's right. Okay? Out of all the candidates running, black, white, Hispanic, bar none. None of them are more qualified than Tony Prattwinkle. We hear so much about, listen to me, slow down. We hear so much about, well, Tony Prattwinkle and Burke. And then Mendoza, if you look up her scorecard, when Solis come out, well, I ain't with Solis no more, but Solis helped you. When Burke come out, well, Burke was my godfather and all this, I ain't with Burke no more, but Burke helped you. You follow what I'm saying? When 5 individuals, all that I'm saying is this. How old are you, sir, if I may ask?
49.
Okay. If Daley slide into this race, into the mayorship, your grandchildren and my great-grandchildren gonna catch 10 times the hell that we catching now because another Daley was the mayor. Because we let blacks split the vote. That's what this topic is.
I'm gonna say this, and I'll be done. I don't care what politician it is. The bottom line, when they get behind closed doors, it's all about how that pie is going to be split up, and depends on what group or whatever. It depends on how much of that pie you're going to get. And when they get in front of those in the back door somewhere, they be arguing and stuff.
Okay, stop right there. Let me ask you this one question. Which candidate, out of all the candidates, has really helped with criminal justice reform from their actions? Okay? Which candidate out of all the candidates made it possible for Kim Foxx become the state's attorney that's helping to release all them individuals that was wrongfully convicted? Okay? That's what's happening. If Daley become mayor and he's in charge of this decree, do you think he's gonna work it against the police department that's involved in the shooting and killing of African American men? If Daley become the mayor, do you think he's gonna agree to have a new contract for the Fraternal Order of Police? That's what this is about, man. This ain't about no pie in the sky. This is about, all I can tell you, man. I don't know your history.
Can I get 30 seconds?
Hey, man, you can get 10, because I got to get into the show. I ain't got about half an hour.
Right. The bottom line is this. Those politicians, they going to do what's good for them. And when they get in front of the camera, they clown and stuff. They don't talk about
Okay, okay, I got you. Let me ask you one question. Who's your mayoral candidate? Hello? Next caller, I'll see you. Could you please state your name and voice your opinion?
Yes, my name is Bill.
Okay, Bill.
Yeah, I think that's what we experienced is the debate that you're having with Joe and your analogy of how this splitting the vote business is working is what we actually witnessed is the history of the preservation of a dynasty, the Daley dynasty.
Right.
I mean, there has been no other dynasty in this city.
Correct.
You know.
Correct. And you know what's so wicked about that dynasty? Is the cover-ups. Okay? How they covered up the police torture, knowing that John Burge was doing what he was doing. And if John Burge don't get caught on lying in a civil rights deposition, it wouldn't be no torture commission. And you see what happened with the Van Dyke trial? And they covered it up when the police officers covered it up and they get acquitted? Because you see Daley in charge of that? You follow what I'm saying? Because my thing is this. He keeps saying he's Bill Daley. He's not going to be like his father or he's not going to be like his brother. But Bill didn't say nothing when all these atrocities was happening to residents in the city of Chicago. Black, brown, and white. That's exclusive of the young brother that got killed on Rush Street. And they covered it up. But the move is this. They cover it up in your face and tell you you didn't see what happened. So my thing is this. Our children or grandchildren don't understand the serious about this fight. And another thing. Everybody talk about Tony Preckwinkle. It wasn't a white cabal that helped create Tony Preckwinkle. Like you seeing the white cabal that helped Mendoza. Okay? So all that I'm saying is this, man. This is a serious election. I think we got 17 days. And all I'm asking anyone, think before you vote. Weigh it out. Okay? Weigh it out. Because it's going to affect us as a people and the city of Chicago. Everybody talk about a piece of pie. Well, Daley may have had people to come in the room and he gonna give them a piece of pie. They piece of pie. When he had not just his hands in the cookie jar, he took the whole cookie jar. Okay? Starting with the parking meters. Okay? We in the position now because of Daley. So for any black, just my opinion, to say, well, we might as well go on and vote for Daley, I'm with Daley. Instead of sitting back and saying, hey, vote for the most qualified person who can win the race. Okay? And as far as the black community, vote for the black candidate that's strongest out of all the candidates to win the race. Okay? When I watch Daley says, the people elected my brother 6 times, so you're saying that those voters were idiots? Well, there's a lot of people that's saying because they voted for him 6 times, and they see how he left the city of Chicago, giving pension money to his nephews, I would feel like an idiot because I voted for him 6 times. You follow what I'm saying? And the whole thing is this. We as black people see what is happening. We got a history. This story was put up there by Monroe Anderson wrote the story. And the truth of the story is that some of the same people today were the ones that was instrumental in creating Daley to come in and take the last 2 years of Harold Washington's term. So all of y'all that saying y'all Harold Washington, we knew all this. Well, Daley became the mayor for the last 2 years of his terms when we had a sitting black mayor. A sitting black mayor. This Black History Month. 30 years later, here it is. Every African Americans, especially the women, saying the woman can't get this, and when a woman get to the ceiling and yada, yada, yada. Well, here's one that's there now. There's more concern about your children being safe than all those other individuals that's running for office. More concerned about the education than all the ones that's running for office. And everybody say, well, she's a boss, she's part of the machine. Well, Mendoza get in there, it become a Mendoza machine. It become the Hispanic progressive machine. If the Green Party get in there, it become the Green Party machine. A machine is a machine when you put oil in it in order for it to work. Well, we don't want no boss. Daddy was a boss. Daddy's daddy was a boss. Tony ended up over the Cook County Democratic Party and brought a progressive thing to the Cook County Democratic Party. How you think a lot of them sisters becoming judges? So all that I'm saying ain't on the candidates. It's on us to keep their feet to the fire to do. And one thing I do know, if Tony become mayor, I'm going to help you keep our feet to the fire. Because that's what we got to do as the people. We just got lackadaisical. Just my opinion. We walk around with our hands out, not asking for nothing, just with our hands out. That's somebody supposed to give us something. But you do not want Daley over the police department. His nephew, the young guy, died on Rush Street. They covered it up so bad, they had to bring the cover-up guy, the cover-up, which is Dan Webb. And the outcome of it all was that Daley's nephew got 2 months. I thought it was 6 months. He got 2 months. And he didn't go downstate. He didn't stay in Cook County Jail. They put him in another county jail. And so that the Cook County government wouldn't have to pay for it, he wrote a check himself and paid for it. 60 days. And y'all know that the majority of them other candidates, black candidates running, they can't win. Y'all know this. On us. They family gets away with everything. You can't even get, you can get a copy of the deposition that Madigan did, but you can't get a copy of the deposition that Daley did and his family did when they testified in the suit that was brought against the city and Daley now, because that guy got killed on Rush Street. The Supreme Court made a decision. Nobody can see the transcripts of what the Daley said. Come on. That ain't right. That ain't right. And I know what I'm saying. People say, well, Gator, you know, they get away with murder. They might kill you. Hey, everybody's gonna die. And if I should get murdered, because I'm telling you the truth, to make sure the city of Chicago become a fair city under administration that believes in fairness for everybody in Chicago, white, black, brown, Asians. Somebody got to say and tell the truth. It's Black History Month. Why do you think Monroe Anderson did the opinion piece on Chance media outlet to reach out to the millennials? This is Black History Month. And the majority of millennials run around talking about they don't want to hear or talk to nobody over 30. We're the only race that let somebody tell us not to listen to our elders. He could have wrote the opinion thing and put it in the Sun Times, the Tribune, defend it anywhere. He has enough respect for the millennials for them to understand history. I'm seeing young candidates going to office all across the country. So you can't tell me that there ain't no millennials getting elected. That's a lie. The young lady Underwood became the 4th black congressman in a district that ain't all African American. The reason we got 3 congressmen is because it's by law that it got to be 3 congressmen representing us. She's a millennial. And a black woman and a smart woman that stood up and ran on principle. It's Black History Month. Don't be sitting there and you're talking all this. This is real. If Daddy get in there, you millennials, I don't know what's coming after you millennials. I don't know what they're going to call your children or your babies. But I know this city going to catch hell. The dailies that sold everything. They sold the tollway. They come in with the parking meter thing. It costs $2 billion. The company, from what I read, they got the money back, the $2 billion that they didn't pay, but they got tens of years. You know, I got to wrap up. I'm passionate about this. I just want to say this. If you let Daley get in there, and if you as African Americans, I don't care how mad we are at one another, we got to come together for the betterment of us as a people and for the betterment of the city of Chicago. And with that, I want to say, don't choke. I voted early for Tony Prattwinkle to be the next mayor of the city of Chicago. To God be the glory.